Salawam Akim. I like to say call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Sai, Bahashem, Harakar Kadas. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule well and taught me the truth. And peace and salutation to your argument across the four corners of the globe, preaching this gospel in truth and sincerity. His brother Yaash from the Louisiana Saints camp back with another lesson on the EU, all right? European Union, all right? European Union. All right, and this is an article from the Times, the New York Times. It says the EU may bar American travelers as it reopens its border, citing failures on virus. Basically saying that the U.S. hasn't been able to put a handle on this coronavirus, so they're not going to be able to travel to Europe, even when they reopen. All right, Brussels. European Union countries rushing to revive their economies and reopen their borders after months of coronavirus restrictions are prepared to block Americans from entering because the United States has failed to control the scourge. The scourge, according to draft list of acceptable travelers reviewed by the New York Times. That prospect, which would lump American visitors in with Russian and Brazil as unwelcome, is a stinging blow to America's prestige in the world and a reputation of President Trump handling of the virus of the United States. Basically saying that you're not handling this virus well, so we don't want you around us, which has more than 2.3 million cases and upward 120,000 deaths, more than any other country. European nations are currently haggling over two potential lists of acceptable visitors based on how countries are faring with the coronavirus pandemic. So basically, if you handling it and you got low spikes in your country, you could come in. But if your spikes of coronavirus is high in your country, look, you're banned from coming over here. All right. Bold lists include China as well as developing nations like Uganda, Cuba, and Vietnam. Both also exclude the United States and other countries that were deemed too risky because the spread of the virus. All right, so basically the virus is spreading over here in the United States, and Trump and all of the health officials can't get it under control. So EU like, fuck this, man. We don't want nothing to do with the United States coming over here because we're not trying to infect more of our people. Travelers from the United States and the rest of the world already had been excluding from visiting the European Union, so we already couldn't go over there, with few exceptions, mostly for repatriation or essential travel. So only the people who are necessary could travel over there to the EU and during this coronavirus lockdown. Since mid-March, but a final decision on reopening the borders is expected early next week before the bloc reopens on July 1st. So they're going to make their final decision whether they're going to let you Babylonians come into their country. All right? And of course we know, hey, the EU, these European nations and NATO are going to fucking turn their backs on America. Okay? They're going to turn their backs on America. Why? For all of this wickedness you've done, all of this deception and lies and murders, they're going to fucking shoot missiles on you, man. Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Sai concerning Edom. Edom is the so-called white man. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Sai. All right. And an ambassador is sent among the heathens. All right. That's the prophets on the highways and byways. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathens. Thou art greatly despised. So these heathens look at you Edomites, so-called white people, like y'all ain't shit, and they hate you with a strong hatred. All right, that's why if you go over there to the EU, they say the Americans are the dumbest people in the world. All right, the pride of thine heart had made thee, had deceived thee. All right, you devils think ain't nothing gonna happen to you over here in Babylon, and 2/3 of Israel think the same thing. Y'all believe in y'all daddy system, and y'all gonna be joined hand in hand with this devil and go down with him at the same time. All right, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, because they came from the Caucasus Mountains over there in Georgia, Russia. All right, that's why they got big habitations in America. These called skyscrapers, because it reminds them of those mountains they derive from. Whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Yeah, you devils don't believe. Y'all think y'all God. Y'all don't think y'all ever come down. It says in his inward heart. Let me see if I can get that. I think it's in Psalms. All right. Wait, let me see if that's the right one. Let me see something real quick. Fuck it, man. Psalm 64 and verse 1. A psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Who's the enemy? Esau, all these other nations, and the so-called black woman. All right, 2/3 of Israel. Verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Who's shooting? Who's practicing at night, and then in the morning they bring it to light. The Esau Edom. All right. The world's given to the world's given into the hands of Esau Edom. All right. All right. So David is asking to be hid from the counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Right, because they're gonna come down on the man of the law at all hell. All right, so we need protection from these Edomites. All right, which 2/3 don't understand. They need the same thing. All right, verse 3. Who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to suit their arrows, even bitter words. Yeah, all they say is lies. Nothing but lies, man. Verse 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Yeah, they want to fuck over you Israelites, particularly the 144,000 and 1/3. All right. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. All these traps that they set up for us, man. That's why we are Latino, Native Americans. Okay. Latinos, Native Americans, and Negroes are in the jail prison houses more than anybody. All right. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both their inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they shall they be healed. Shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right, and that's what's happening right now. These devils, everything that they're doing is coming back. All these nations are waking up and seeing that they're fucking full of bullshit. And ain't none of it is working, all right? And now the tables are turned. Well, now all of these fucking curses is falling on these devils and all these other nations. And that's why they're about to cut up. Deuteronomy 30 and 7, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemy, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. All right, so all of the curses that are on the Israelites are going on these other nations, starting with Esau, Edom. Okay, because you put the most hell on the Israelites. All right, but my point was to make that their inward hearts, they think that their inward hearts. They think that their society is going to continue on, which that's a lie, all right? The Bible speaks against that, all right? Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, see all that pride? Exalting itself as an eagle, and that's the mascot of America, the bald eagle. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord. Okay, they put all their shit up on all their satellites up in the seas, up in the the atmosphere, all right, and they think they got their shit together, all right. But Yahweh Shem Yahweh said he gonna bring all that shit down, man. And this is my point. This is the point I wanted to bring out. I'm gonna skip down to 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Yeah, because all your people fucking turning on you and bellying up and telling all your secrets. And all these other nations, they got your fucking card too. Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men, this is the point, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, all right? So guess what? These same EU countries, NATO and EU, okay? NATO is the military, the EU is the political side of the EU, okay? These countries that are a part of NATO and the EU are going to turn on America and shoot missiles over here on this bitch, all right? And these are the same people that were at peace with thee, have deceived thee, and prevailed against thee. They have eaten thy bread, and have laid a wound under thee, that under thee there is none understanding in him. See? So you devil's about to go down in a horrific way, man. Horrific way, man. It's gonna be horrific, man. All right. All right, Revelation 17 and 10. And there were 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, which America came out of Britain, all right? All right, Britain is the 7, America is the 8, and going into perdition. Perdition means destruction. Yeah, America is going to be completely destroyed. That beast is NATO and the EU system. All right, and Rome was at one point, and then it fell, and then it was revived through United States of America. Okay, that's which we're at today. All right, and the 10 horns, which thou sawest, are 10 kings. All right, these are the 10 nations that the EU and NATO started out of, and then they grew to like 28, 29 nations now. It's more now, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. All right, these nations are going to come together and agree in one mind. Verse 13, these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Right, that beast is NATO and the EU. All right, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord over lords and King over kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So when the Lord comes back, these nations are going to try to make war with him, and guess what? They're going to get killed horribly. And the ones that are chosen are the elect on the highways and byways preaching his gospel, all right, and 100% true, all right. Verse 15, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are people and multitudes and nations and tongues. That's plain. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. There we go. Now this is the point. All right, all these nations in the EU and NATO, also along with Russia, Iran, China, Turkey, all right, all them nations gonna hate this whore, and you can see them hating it right now. All right, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. See, this place is gonna get burned with fire. For Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, had put in their hearts to fulfill his will. This is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, to destroy Babylon, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which is America. America is considered a city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And America does reign over the kings of the earth. And guess what? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is bringing that rain to a motherfucking end. Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And guess what? All of this is orchestrated.